Welcome back to the Eagle versus Kiwi podcast, a show about living in America from the perspective of a New Zealander. And like I said last episode, we're going to try to get the wife onto the show, but she's been a little busy with work. You know, sometimes these things work out and sometimes they don't. So today, what we're going to talk about is a different perspective, what I would like you to know. Like the New Zealander's perspective before you move. If you're an American and you want to move to New Zealand, this is another key question that I always fucking get. And there's nothing wrong with that, obviously. I mean, ask away. But these are the things that you should probably know going into New Zealand. And we're going to touch on music, pop culture, the history of New Zealand in music. Okay, so we got the top 10. First, I kind of wanted to kick it off with the top 10 New Zealand songs that you should probably know coming into New Zealand. And honestly, their songs, most of them are from the 80s or 90s, but New Zealand loves to hold on to that nostalgic like music. They love to hold on to the 80s and the 90s because they kind of molded New Zealand as a culture. Before all of that, we didn't have anything that set us apart. Obviously, we had indigenous cultures to New Zealand, being the Māori people. A lot of the Pacific Island cultures live in New Zealand. Even me, I'm Samoan, so a lot of my Samoan Pacific Islander families live in New Zealand. And there's the Samoans, there's Fijians, there's Niueans, there's Tongans, there's just a complete smorgasbord of Pacific Island race there. And Auckland, which is the biggest city in New Zealand, has the biggest population of the Asian community in Auckland. I feel a close second to that could be the Indian population, and I loved it. I loved New Zealand for the fact that we welcome any race into this country, and we thrive off it. So when we were living in New Zealand, when we were living in Auckland specifically, there was Diwali festivals, and they took over all of downtown Auckland, and it was great. You got to go along and you got to experience their culture and experience the taste of their food, and really opened my eyes to a lot of things that I didn't even know about. Even they had the Japanese lantern festival, which they took over Albert Park, which is a big park in Auckland. And they had their traditional lanterns, and they had not palm readings, but they had like these readings, like mystical readings type things, which I thought was really, really fascinating. I thought it was great. And because New Zealand was thriving off those cultures, we got to experience something new almost every single weekend or every single week. You know, we were surrounded by a lot of Indian food. I miss Indian food. I thought America would have more of it, but I mean, if you listen to the past podcasts, America does this really great thing where they take something so traditional and they fucking make it all fancy, and they tell you to spend top dollar for it. But in New Zealand, it was just bare bones, traditional to the core. You know, and that's what I loved. I love traditional food, how it's meant to be made. Nothing fancy, nothing with the fusion added flair. It was how it was meant to be. So if you're moving to New Zealand, look, it's a long flight. Okay, it's a very, very long flight. But I'm going to tell you the top 10 songs to download and to add to your Spotify playlist or whatever. There's a whole bunch. Oh my God, there's a whole bunch. And these are definitely... They set apart New Zealand to the rest of the world, because these are classics. You're not going to hear these, or actually one song you'll probably hear in America, which is Crowded House, Don't Dream It's Over. But the rest, you'll never actually... No, I take that back again. Sway by Big Ronga. But again, you're not going to hear any of these in America, which I love so much. Oh, sorry. Hang on. Pepper. What the fuck? My puppy's eating the shit out of my jandal. Oi! Pepper! No. Ah, this fucking cunt. Oi! Don't do that. You want me to get off this microphone? Slap your face. She's looking at me like, fuck you, Dad. I'm going to eat the shit out of this jandal, and you ain't going to do shit about it. We just came back from camping over the weekend, and she ate a whole bunch of acorns. Like a whole bunch. And she's constipated as fuck. And I'm like, that's your own fault, man. That's your own fucking fault. Oh, now here's the dog. What do you want? You want to eat some... You want to fucking chew these cords? Anyway, let's get this fucking top 10. Number 1, coming in at number 1. Formulae in the 1969s. A song called Nature. We're going to play it, a little bit of it, because I don't want to get in trouble. Ooh, that's right. Let's skip to the chorus. I need some thoughts. Oh, this is good. Nature enter me. So psychedelic and so New Zealand. You'll hear a lot of this next song. That was number 1. This is number 2. Oh no, this is number 3. We'll get to number 2. This song was very, very popular. Well, it still is popular. They still play it on radio. And every time the song comes on, you think of New Zealand. And I don't know if Dave Dobbin really thought of that.
Last time I thanked you, keeping my distance unintentionally. Too close for comfort, just staying close enough. If I could have more time, we would brainstorm, and I love you tender.
And it's whenever New Zealand goes through anything like of, you know, friendship, bonding together as a team, as a group, they'll play this song. And they love to emphasize this song. This is the chorus. Fucking Dave Dobbin. Such a fucking classic guy. That was number 3. Let me show you. Oh, there's no internet connection. Of course there's not. Fuck. What a fuck. We just paid our bill too. The dumb thing about it is that this... I don't know if you guys have Wi-Fi issues, but fuck, man, when it disconnects, such a hassle because you have to go back, turn it on. You know, struggles of the 21st century. Alright, we have to play this fucking ad. Alright. This is another song. It's not necessarily... It's not on the list, but... This song, like, gets me going, and even just thinking about it. And I know, I don't want to get too serious, but, like... I don't want to get too emotional about it, but every time I hear the song, it just reminds me of home so much. And I actually remember listening to the song when the last time I went back home on the plane. And yeah, it just reminds me of home a lot. When I went back home for the first time in 2014, I said to myself, I'm going to play this song as I'm flying over New Zealand and I'm touching down in Auckland. This is going to be the song that I'm going to play. And, of course, I forgot to play it. But I played it very quickly. Like, it wasn't the same, but I was on the tarmac and I was coming into Auckland and I still played it and I got really emotional. And I think that's why I have an emotional tie to it, because I listened to it when I went back home and I was just so stoked to be home. People have to realize that when I'm living in America, obviously I live in America. I live in Austin, Texas. And when people say, oh, my home's 6 hours away, or my home is 5 hours away, or my home is like 8 hours away, I have to look at them and go, motherfucker, wait, where's your home again? You miss home? 8 hours? That's how long it is? Get a fucking flight and go home. Seriously. I've even had people say it's an hour away. If you can't fucking drive an hour to go home, stop complaining. And it's gotten to me so much that some people, when people complain about going home, I'll fucking say, oh yeah, you're 8 hours away? Oh cool. I'm fucking 3 days of flying away. And a $6,000 ticket. And how much is gas again? You're gonna make it there with $40? Don't fucking complain. And I hate being that way because, you know, in the bare bones of it, you miss home. Like, home is home and you're going to miss it. But if you say that your home is 3 hours away, don't talk to me. Don't ever talk to me. At all. No fucking joke. Because I'm going to have no sympathy for you whatsoever. I have zero sympathy when anyone complains about how going home is 2 hours away. What are you doing within your 24 hours of working, or within your 24 hours of something? You got 2 hours to spare? You got 4 hours to spare? Fucking go home then. Because I can't. I'm the wrong person to talk to whenever you feel homesick. Like, straight up, I'm the wrong person. The last time I went home was 2014, and it cost $6,000 to go fucking home. And I was only there for a week. And by the time I got there, and by the time I had to leave, I just got used to the time difference. I couldn't even spend 100% of my time in New Zealand because I was so fucking tired all the time. I was so tired. So don't complain to me. Don't complain in general. If you're in America and you're living somewhere else, but your hometown is like Denver or something, and you live here and your plane ticket's like $200, fucking spend the $200 to go home, do the round trip, you motherfucker. Straight up. I have zero sympathy. It's like, I miss home so much. Then go. I can't handle it. I can't deal with people who cry about that stuff. And I know it's elitism, but I'm fucking allowed to complain that I miss home because I live so fucking far away. And it goes back to one of the first podcasts we did. Pepper, stop fucking eating my jandal, cunt. I gotta sort this dog out real quick. I'm gonna leave you while I sort this dog out with A Crowded House, Don't Dream It's Over. It's number 2 on the list of most popular songs in New Zealand. While I fucking... Pepper! I'm going to sort this dog out real quick. So listen to Crowded House, Don't Dream It's Over, okay? It's a solid song. It's a great song. One of my favorites anyway. Let me cue this up while I can look after the dog. Oh, classic. Classic.
There's a battle ahead, many battles are lost, but you never see the end of the road while you're traveling with me. Hey now, don't dream it's over. Hey now, when the world comes in, let come
it's a solid song, you know. Fucking Crowded House, Don't Dream It's Over. Yeah, they're a classic band. They're an iconic New Zealand band. Another iconic band is She Had. And She Had tried to make it big in America. They tried so long ago, but their name She Had sounded too much like jihad, so they had to change their name to Pacifier, and they did terrible in America. They did so bad, but they moved back home, made their money, you know, and they're one of the most amazing bands in all of New Zealand. They just are. You know what I mean? Let's play Home Again, which is number, can't remember on the list. Home Again. Fuck, where is it? Oh, it's number 30 on the list, but it's still an iconic, still a fucking iconic song, man. Play it. Fuck yeah. Fucking classic. Get Your Life. If you don't know this song, and you move to America and you don't know this song, people are going to look at you like fucking weird. People will be like, you know, She Had? And they look at you and they ask you a question, She Had? If you say no, they'll probably say, what the fuck are you doing here? You fucking foreigner. But you know what? Because thanks to me, you'll know these songs and you'll be like, I do know She Had. Home Again is one of my favorite songs. And then they'll be like, oh yeah, is it just Home Again? Do you know any other songs? Yeah, I do. This song called Pacifier, that's right. I know it. She Had performing Pacifier. Of course I know this song. Off their General Electric album, of course. I love it. Yes. Pacifier, I mean, they're just such a great band. They're a classic New Zealand modern day rock band that came out of the 90s. And they're still pumping out songs today in the thousands. And if you were to know any band, rock band, then you should know She Had. And there's another band that were very popular in the 90s from the Patea Māori Club. And they had a song called Poye, Took the Nation by Storm. I'm going to play a little bit of it just because I don't want to get this song completely... I don't want this podcast taken over by music, but it's funny. Makes you wonder, how is this popular? And I'm not joking either. I'm not joking. Poye, P-O-I, capital E, Patea Māori Club. If you want to hear and if you want to listen, watch the entire video clip, just look at it. Look at that. Poye, Patea Māori Club, solid song. Solid song. The rest of the list, we got The Swingers, Split Ends, 6 Months in a Leaky Boat, Book Runga Sway. You've probably heard that song. Slice of Heaven by Dave Dobbin and the Herbs. Okay. Victoria by the Dance Exponents. Then later changed their name to The Exponents in the late 90s. She Speeds by the Straight Jacket Fits. Another 80s into 90s very popular rock. I want to say rock because, if you say another subgenre, then people just get confused. Rock band in New Zealand. April Sun in Cuba. By a band named Dragon that were very popular in the late 70s. Split Ends, I Got You, Dave Dobbin on the list again. D.D. Smash with his band before he went solo called Waylon. That was a song. I'm just kind of looking through. Crowded. Look, you won't go wrong with Crowded House, Split Ends, Hello Sailor, Fair Patrol, The Dudes. You won't go wrong with those. If you want to look those bands up, you totally should. Guarantee it. And if you want to be modern, New Zealand, look, there's a band that you need to know called fucking 660. And this is another band that kind of fucking gets me going in terms of getting emotional about missing home. Because this band and this song in general makes me really, really miss home. Look, I'm gonna let you listen to a bit of the tunage. Listen to that bass.
Your family, yeah. Don't forget your roots, my friend. The ones who made you, the ones who brought you here. Don't forget your roots, my friend.
Seriously, solid song. Don't forget your roots by 660. Modern rock, like you don't want to say rock, but it's a modern day song. And if you want to know, Dunedin, which is this band is from. Baldwin Street is the world's steepest street. Now there is going to be one that says that there's a street in Pittsburgh of all places where I lived, Canton Avenue. They're saying that it's the world's steepest street according to some sources. But you know what? Fuck Canton Avenue. Doesn't have shit on Baldwin Street in Dunedin. It's not even in the Guinness World Records for the steepest street. This fucking Canton Avenue's not even in there. It's the steepest street in Pittsburgh, but some say in the world. Fuck off, Pittsburgh. Look, I love Pittsburgh. Okay, but let us have this one. Okay, you dumb fuck. Alright? Dunedin's got the steepest street in the fucking world, you piece of shit. Shut up, Canton Avenue. Everyone that lives on Canton Avenue, shut up. Oh, I'm looking at some photos. Canton Avenue. Fuck off. Fuck off. According to Guinness... Yeah, that's right. According to Guinness Book of Records, Baldwin Street in New Zealand is the world's steepest residential street. Baldwin Street is 1,150 feet, which is 350 meters long, and is said to include the grade of 35%. Canton Avenue is 630 feet, 192 meters long. The hill is about 65 meters long, and is claimed to include a 37% grade, 6.5 meters long. If accurate, this 37 granite would make Canton Avenue the steepest street in the world. But you know what? The steepest public road... Oh, okay. Hawaii, the Big Island, Hawaii, they've got the steepest public road. But you know what, though? Most of those roads in Pittsburgh are shit. Like, straight up. They're one earthquake away from fucking being shattered and that entire road being collapsed in on itself. No joke. Some roads in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania still have the brick. Like the old school brick. And I can guarantee that the thing that goes through their head is like the road workers like, oh, this is in the city. Don't worry about this. Don't worry about getting on top of this. Let's just fucking move on to the next city. And I don't blame them. I don't fucking blame them. But Dunedin and Dunners, Baldwin Street, you got the steepest street in the world. Fuck this Canton Avenue. Canton Avenue could go fucking fuck up their ass. Fuck you. Okay, I also wanted to touch on before we end this podcast, because this is already going too long, is food. Food, housing, clothes, transportation. If anything, the cheapest thing would be transportation in New Zealand. So when we were living in Auckland, there are two prices, right? Two prices for buses. It's $1.50 if you wanna use the suburbs. The suburbs? The suburbs. Actually, let's get an accurate price. Hop. Auckland bus fares. Because we had a hop card, and what a hop card is, you can... Oh, that's right. They do it by zones. This is going to be hard to explain. Fuck, man. This is going to be fucking hella hard to explain. But we use the hop card, and if you use a hop card, you get discounts on rates. Actually, okay, this is valuable information if you go to Auckland. Okay, if you go to Auckland, get a hop card for public transportations. You'll get a discount, and it's one of those cards where you go on a bus and you tap this like little electronic thing, and it takes the money from your card. So you have to load the hop card up with money, obviously. So adult fares. So okay, here we go. Yeah, here we go. So in Auckland, they've got the buses, obviously, but they do certain trips and they count certain zones, if that kind of makes sense. So if you're going around in the city, which is going to be up and down Queen Street, if you've got a hop card, your bus fare will cost 50 cents. Okay? But if you don't have the hop card, your cash fare for the bus that just goes up and down Queen Street, just that bus, will be $1. Okay? And if you... So one zone. Okay? So the buses go by zones. Okay? It's hard to explain this. But if you're going there... Jeez, how do I do this? Okay. So basically, Auckland is a structure. The zones are broken down how far you go out of the city. Okay? The further you go out of the city from the main city, the more expensive it's going to be. Okay? It sounds pretty bullshit, but fuck it. You're living in a different place now. Deal with it. So if you're just going just a little bit outside of the Auckland main centre, it's $3.50 with cash. With a hop card, it's $1.85. Okay? If you're going further out in the city, cash fare $5.50, hop card $3.15. Zone 3, $7 cash, $4.85 hop card. Zone 4, $9, $6.10 with hop card. Zone 5, $10, $10. Holy fuck. Fuck that. And with hop card, $7.50. And then 6, 7, and 8, they don't change. 6 is $8.80, 7 is $10.10, and 8 is $11.20. Okay? Oh, I just cracked a high then. Kids get it all sweet. Scuba. Oh, Waiheke bus pass. Like, it's... If you wanted to get a day pass for the bus, and because you don't know how much you're going to use it, a day pass. So you can buy it, and it's $10 for a single day pass, and you can use it on the Waiheke Island stuff. Okay. But I would recommend getting a hop card because it's cheaper if you were to move to New Zealand, move to Auckland specifically. I don't know anything about the other cities or anything like that, so don't fucking ask me. Deal with it. You sort it out on your own. Food. Okay, here's the thing. If you go to McDonald's and you get like a Big Mac combo, you're gonna be spending close to $20 on it. Okay, I'm not joking. You're gonna be spending close to $20 on it. If anything, the burger itself will be probably like $11 or something like that. Okay. If you're a meat consumer, 500 grams or like a 1 pound boneless chicken breast is going to be $8. A liter of milk, like the cheapest version, is probably going to be $2 to $3. 12 eggs, a large portion, $6. 1 kg per kg, $7. Cheese, $7. Apples, potatoes. Apples going to be $3.86 a kg. Potatoes, $3.36 a kg. So this is one thing that most Americans don't fucking understand either, is rent. Rent in general, okay? So this is going to be weekly, not monthly. So what I like about here in America is that your rent is done by month, not by week. In New Zealand, where Megan and I were staying, we had a 1-bedroom apartment in downtown Auckland, and we paid $330 a week. Okay? That wasn't including power or anything like that. Or water. What was that including? I don't actually know. Okay? So that's pretty expensive. We're lucky to get it, honestly. We were very lucky. We saw it. It was easy. If I was going to recommend a place to shop, would be Pack and Save. It's going to be your cheapest option. But if you're living in the city, you won't find a Pack and Save. Pack and Save is going to be mostly in the suburb regions of New Zealand, of Auckland. And if you're living in downtown, like how Megan and I were living, you're only going to find a Countdown and a New World, which are the two most expensive supermarkets to go. So if you are living in Auckland, really fucking think about budgeting for those trips. Okay? You fucking cunts. Here's the thing, though. Entertainment. I don't know how we did this, but we went to a lot of things for free. Auckland is really, really good. If they put festivals on, they'll do it for free. Pacifica festivals, Diwali, the Lantern Festival that they had at Albert Park, that was all free. We didn't pay for anything. They'll have a lot of fitness expos. And because of where I was working, I got a lot of free tickets to those, so I was very, very thankful for that. But movies, if you want to go see movies at Aotea Square, for example, in downtown Auckland, don't fucking pay money to go to an ordinary cinema, like your normal everyday cinema. Look into Gold Pass, okay? Look into it. Get the Gold Pass because it's worth it. You get lazy boy seats and you get full-on proper meals. Like steak, potatoes, all like real proper meals, not popcorn, none of that shit. You get it all delivered to your chair. And you get these really fancy pop-up tables that come out of your lazy boy seats. And if I can remember correctly, they don't have a lot of those lazy boys in one cinema. Let's have a look. Gold Pass. Auckland. Movies Auckland. Okay, we're gonna fucking have a look real quick. No. Aotea Square. Okay, let's look at this. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Looking at this shit gets me excited. Okay, here we go. Gold Class. Let's look. Select the cinema. We're gonna be in Queen Street. Any movie. Let's go. Just pretend. Let's go. Fucking I don't know. Kingsman. Let's do Kingsman. Times and ticket. Okay. All right. 6 p.m. That's Gold Class. Okay. No. Oh, they've got date night packages. Oh, shit. No way. Oh, they're expensive, though. Holy fuck. So if you were to go to Gold Class really quickly... Actually, no. Let's get to these seats. Let's pretend we're just going to go to adults. To adults real quick. Holy fuck. I can't believe we spent that much on movies. Fuck. I just got two... Okay. We just did 2 adult passes to this Gold Pass place. And because I'm booking it online, I'm pretending to go book it. It's $72.40. Holy fuck. That's how much I've gotten used to American prices. Okay, let's look at this. Okay, now we get to choose our seats. Okay, cool. So here's the thing. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So there's going to be 30 seats in one cinema, which is small compared to what you're used to in, everyday cinemas. So it's great. So I want to go back to tickets. I mean, I personally think it's worth it. We did it all the time. $72.40 isn't that bad compared to how much you're actually making if you work in New Zealand, how much you're making in New Zealand. So example being, when I was working at Lululemon and I was full-time, I was making, hourly wage, I was making $20 an hour for a 6 to 7 hour shift. And I was full-time. So if you do the fucking math, you figure it out. So I was making money. I was making a lot of money. But on top of that, cost of living, rent, bills, it goes pretty darn quick. All right, so keep that in mind. Even though these numbers sound big, it's in the grand scheme of things, it's not really that big. Okay, so they've got these date night Gold Class packages. And includes 2 tickets, 2 house beverages, 2 main meals, and 2 kapiti. So kapiti is a place in New Zealand, and they make their own ice cream. So they're like kapiti ice cream, really top quality, top notch ice cream. And for that package is $115. The complete package, 1 ticket, 1 main meal, 1 house beer, and a Godfather Sundae. I don't even know what that means, but that's insane. But again, if you were to visit New Zealand, okay, we're going to end on this because this podcast is already going too fucking long than I'd like. If you were to go to New Zealand just to visit, I would recommend visiting first. I would save up a lot of money because American dollars do well in New Zealand. So your dollar will go a long, 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 long way. I would do touristy things, but I would walk around where you are just to get familiar of where you want to live. Get to know the people, hang out with your friends. Don't do like the stereotypical touristy things, because in the grand scheme of things, you have to think about it. This is what New Zealand wants you to look like. You know what I mean? This is what they want you to see New Zealand as. A great tourist destination, which it is. It's a very great tourist destination. But when you break down the cost of living, it can be expensive. So I recommend looking at where you're living, where you're wanting to live, in a very realistic manner. Okay? And then map it out. Go on a couple of tours for apartments. Go on a couple of tours for, I don't know, jobs, or look at the jobs that are going to be around where you live. Public transportation is not bad, but it's not the best in the world. They do have certain cutoff times, which, depending on where you live or work, can be a bit of an issue. Trying to think about other things, but that's all I can kind of think of. And I'll try get the wife on to this show to talk about her experience as an American living in New Zealand, because I feel that would be more valuable information than what I can give you, because it's very one-sided. It's from what I've seen through living with Megan. Does that kind of make sense? Okay. Anyway, this podcast is done. Thank you very much for listening to the Eagle vs. Kiwi podcast. And if you love this show so much, please follow us on Podbean, this app where you're looking at us right now. Share with your friends too. Take a screenshot of you listening to this. Put it up on Instagram. Put it up on Twitter. Put it up on Facebook. Use the hashtag Eagle vs. Kiwi podcast. Get your friends involved. I want them to hear, because I get all these questions asked to me every single fucking day. So this podcast is to aid or to eliminate some of those questions, because they get old after a while, okay? So share it with your friends. And we just made a new Instagram page, so put it up. We're on, it's at Eagle vs. Kiwi podcast on Instagram. We don't have a Facebook. Again, like I said, I kind of want to keep it low-key because this is a fun little project for me. But yeah, that's it. Thank you for listening to this episode. Make sure you listen to the next one and share this with all of your friends. Okay. I need to come up with a signature goodbye. What's a goodbye? What's goodbye in Māori? Let's say that. Goodbye in Māori. I think I know what it is. What the fuck?
Bye.
No, not that. Māori. How do you say that? We're going to get this. Hang on, give me a second. Paste. Okay, here we go. We're going to get someone to say it for us. Yeah, poro poro aki. Poro poro aki. That's what that means. That's fucking terrible. Poro poro aki. No, I don't know. I'll figure out a way to say goodbye on this podcast. But anyway, we are done. We're out of here. Make sure you share this with your friends and listen to next episode coming up very, very soon. Goodbye.